My name is Maria, and today I wanted to share how this wonderful tool works. This is to make mini envelopes, and I bought this at the Tuesday Morning store. They had a few of these, and I said, well, I have to get me one of these. I do have one that's similar to it, and it's this one here, because I couldn't find this one at any of the other craft stores. But I went ahead and purchased this one as soon as I saw it. So I'm going to show you right away how this works. If you can get it, go ahead and get it. The Tuesday Morning store has them, and I don't know how many are there left, but if you see them, go ahead and get one. So they are the mini envelope punch board from We Are Memories. So let's go ahead and do a few envelopes. I am going to start cutting. Let's see, we could do the tiny one. It's a 2x2, and it tells you here how to do it. This envelope that we're gonna do fits in a card that's 1 by 1 inches, and the paper size we're gonna use is 2x2, and we're gonna score at 1. And I'm gonna show you how that works. So first, I'm gonna cut my paper at 2x2. So you can use any paper cutting machine that you have, or tool, I should say. So here we have a 2x2 square. Okay, so now I'm going to move it right out of the way, and I'm going to see if I can make this a little bigger here so you can see. So here we have the measurements. We are going to start at the score lines. The guide here says to score at 1 inch. So we're going to use these numbers here to score the paper. So we are going to line the paper up at 1, and then you're going to punch, and then here on this little groove here, you're going to score the first one. Let's see if I can flip this so you can see it. See right there? You're going to use that as your guide, and of course you have this line here. So I'm going to put it back in there. Okay, so that was the first one. Then the next one, you don't have to measure. You can just line up the score line that you just did. I don't know if you can see it because it has color in it, but let me flip it over. So you're gonna use that line that you just scored. That will be your guide to score the next one. And you might want to do that because the one score line does not work for some of the bigger envelopes. So you're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna find this little groove here and then score the second line, and I already punched it. So the next one, you do the same thing. You line it up with the line you just scored. You punch, and then you do your line, score line, and then you do the next one. You turn it around and you line up the line that you just scored. Make sure I get it there right. Punch, and then you do the next one, and I forgot to punch this one, so I'll do it now. Line it up, okay, punch, and then you're set. So you're gonna end up with these. Okay, so on the score lines, you're going to fold your envelope in, just following the score lines. And it has this little area here too where you can create, instead of this point being pointy, it could be have a little nice curve. So I'm going to punch it, and as you can see, now it's not pointy anymore. You can do one or you can do both. I'm going to do both, and there you have it. Cute little envelope. This one looks a little different from some of the ones I've done before that are longer. This is more of a square envelope. That's just one design, and I did a few, so I'm going to show you. See how cute that one. And I think I did another one here. See, that's really cute. So now we're going to try a different size. We're going to do with a different paper. Let's try this cute paper here. We're going to do, let's see, let's pick a size. We could do 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. and that tells us that's the paper size that we need. It has to be 2, so you use this as your guide. It will fit an envelope that's 1.5 by 1.5, and you're going to score this. You're going to cut the paper to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So we're gonna do that. First, we're gonna cut the paper. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So then I'm going to flip it over so that we can see better where the score lines are. And it tells us here on the guide that we have to score this paper and at 1 3/8. And thankfully this has those 1 1/8 marks, so it will be easy to do. So what we're going to do here, sorry, it might be a little too big. We're going to take our paper and we're going to find the measurements of that we're gonna score at 1 3/8. So it will be 1 here, and then just find the 3/8, which would be right here, right there. I can't see because of the glare, so here, 1 3/8. So I'm gonna punch first, and then I'm going to make the score line right here. Then I'm gonna turn it, and we're going to use that line that we just scored as our guide for the next punch and score. So you only measure once, and then you just turn the paper around. And then we're going to find that line again, and you're going to punch and score. And this is nice because it has like a little it has this nice pieces here that stick to your surface, so this scoreboard is not going to move as you're cutting. Then we're going to do the next one. Find the line, punch, and score. Okay, so I'm going to make this one here. It's not. This one again. So I can reach all the way up there. Okay, so you're gonna end up with this. Then you're gonna fold it on your score line side. Either side doesn't matter. This one's gonna be a little bigger. Well, and this one also looks more like a square envelope. And you can choose whichever side you like. And there you go, you have your nice square envelope. And you can use these envelopes on cards or by themselves when you're giving gifts. You can add a little note and just stick it in there. Alright, so I'm going to do one that looks more like this one, which is, this is more square. As you can see, they're different. So this one, let me see, what size was this one? This one was, let's move this out of the way. For this one, but let's give a try to a different one. Let's see. Okay, let's try with a different paper. Let's try 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 is telling us, sorry, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 is telling us to score at 1 3/4. So then I'm going to find on my cutting device here, I'm gonna go ahead and cut at that 2 7/8. And 2 7/8. So this is 2 7/8 and 2 7/8, and here it tells us that we have to score at 1 3/4. So we're going to do that. I'll turn the paper over so you can see better. So it says we have to score at 1 3/4, and that would be right here. So I'm going to punch, make my score line again, turn it and find that score line again and line it up with this here, with the color tooth, this little tooth here. Score it, find that line. So I'm just lining it up, punch, and then make your next score line. This one is, I can already tell it's gonna be more of a traditional looking, not a square envelope. So find your score line, punch, oops, almost into score, sorry. Okay, so we're going to score here. And the last one, find the line again, punch, and score. As you can see already, this is going to be not a square envelope, but more of a rectangular envelope. Now here we go. You close your sides, and then bottom and top. As you can see, this is a more traditional looking envelope. And what you could do is you could also put it in the slot here and make that end more round. And there you go. If you can get this little punch, it's such a useful tool. I also use this one here. It's just a little bit different to use it, but you can see it's pretty much similar. But it's such a wonderful tool to have to make this wonderful envelopes. They're so cute. You can have them for cards. You can have them on their own when you have little gift bags. You can stick a little note in them, and then you can make all these fun sizes. And anyway, I just wanted to show you real quick how to work the little mini envelope punch board. And like I said, I found this one at the Tuesday Morning store. If you can find one open in your area, and if they have them, go ahead and get one because they're very fun to use. Okay, bye bye.